Would it? 1 second. Yeah, it would actually. If Sweden's current king, who is 25, so were to die, an heir from House Lancaster would take the throne. Would it be Henry? Oh, that reminds me. Oh, just to pay. I was about to say that reminds me. I haven't been checking on Munster recently, but of course, Munster no longer exists. Just sad. Sad. Maybe one day we will create a client state known as Ireland. Maybe that's on the horizon. Perhaps. But for right now, no Irish, unfortunately. Oh, they've breached the walls. How lovely. How many people are in that fort? Over 1,000. Can we sortie? We should sortie. 1 second. Let me send my boys in. Send my boys in. And then we will sortie. There you go. There you go. Now we're the defenders. Did that work? Please tell me that worked. I can't see whether we're ahead or we're not. Oh, I think we are! Shit, I forgot how awesome that tactic is. Rebellion dealt with. Suck on them potatoes, Scotland. So now we got the Irish separatists, Connacht, Leinster and Munster, respectively. Those are the only guys we got to deal with. So we can probably take our guys from the from the Scottish border, deactivate the Scottish forts, and reactivate the Irish fort. The old Irish fort. Last time it was active was back in whatever year we conquered Ireland. Probably around about 1450. 1452 to be exact. Yeah. Great Britain has formed, kind of. Well, mostly. Take the blame and move on, or spend a lot of money. Spend a lot of money. Always spend a lot of money. Because money is... 1 second, let me move my microphone. Money is one of the most easily gainable assets in the game. And it's not that useful. It's useful, but it's not that useful. Alright, anybody... Oh, can you use... I've forgotten whether... Oh, they can't give us it anyway. Shit, you can build ceremonial fire pits and stuff nowadays. In those less advanced nations. Brought France right back. Can we use other nations' ports to enhance our colonial range? I believe that was not a thing. I believe they patched that out at some point. So they will give me fleet basing rights. And it will cost me money. And it will not enhance my port basing. Right. Okay, that's fine. I don't really want it anymore. Thank you, Portugal, for giving it to me. But it costs me one ducat every month, so it's totally not worth it. I'll remove that as soon as possible. What I'll say is reinforcements in this patch seem to be quicker, but obviously manpower is recovering around the same rate as it used to. But reinforcement rates seem a little bit quicker. See if we can not ally, but get on good terms with somebody important. The Ottomans could be a good, get on their good side kind of country. Burgundy still hate me. Castile still hate me. France are alright with me, because I've made efforts with them. I've made an effort, okay, France? Don't judge me. We can build a building. We shall build said building. Marketplace is probably my favorite building. Right now, because it means we have more influence on the trade node. Very important trade node too. Make it a shit ton of ducats there. See, like, that's what I was saying before, when I was playing as England, it was usually my trade income would actually equal my profit. But now, and I think it's because of the developmental system, taxation is actually a lot higher, I think, than what it usually would be. Maybe it's the same with production as well. Maybe. Because before, taxation was pretty much stay the same. You're like, efficiency would change, but since base tax would stay the same, you'd pretty much be making the same amount in tax no matter like where in the game you are. Whereas now, like, it simulates development of cities. So like at the start of the game, the population was lower, so taxation was lower. But now that it's been like 50 years and population is growing, and so base tax is growing. Ooh, the guy in Sweden died. Lancaster on the Sweden throne. Booyah! That would be nice. Wait, victory in Parliament? I forgot to check whether they increased the base tax of the provinces. They said they would. Okay. So we now, if this guy now dies without a Swedish heir, I think personal union under England. No, apparently succession war, which I would win. Let's keep on good terms with Sweden. Let's try and get back on good terms with the Danes. Because I like the Danes. I don't think they should be my enemy. Okay, so let's check if Glamorgan has a good base tax. It does, but I can't tell whether that's higher or lower than before. Alright, well, we got enough military points to develop that a little bit. So we'll do that first, and then there we go. Glamorgan hopefully will become one of the most developed areas in the world, because, you know, clearly Glamorgan, the capital, is my stake, and clearly it has a seat in Parliament now. Yes. And clearly Gwynedd also has a seat in Parliament. There you go. So we now have 14 seats in Parliament, which should be enough to tide us over for a while. And also our income should go up, because local authority, having a seat in Parliament increases taxation, I believe. Let me see. I can check if I make someone a new seat. Yeah, local tax, local production, local manpower, everything goes up, except for, but the countrywide cost of cost of reducing war exhaustion and stability cost goes up. So, stability cost it's pretty high, I think. Yeah, I think that's pretty high. We're not going to be investing in these idea groups yet. We will be soon, I think. But first of all, I want to get to Diplotech 7. Which we're only a couple of months away from Diplotech 6, so we should still have the minus 15% bonus. Sweden, don't you dare get an heir. Don't you dare get an heir. I would love a personal union with Sweden. That would be awesome. That would open up a whole new way of playing. I don't know how we would react to that, whether we would try and how much we would try and do with them. Because we would definitely have a bit of dominance over the North Sea. But we can also look at Lubeck, which is really valuable. Lubeck's one of the most valuable trade nodes in the entire game. It currently has 11 in it, while London has 15, so it's very close. It has more than Champagne and Bordeaux put together. That's weird. Bordeaux's really weak. Doesn't have as much as Genoa, which is really freaking good right now. That's surprisingly good. It's better than even the English Channel. Sevilla, that's also a lot weaker than I expect. A shipyard, you say? Let's have a look, see if we can build some shipyards. Oh, that's weird. Oh, I see. It's two separate paths. So the shipyard, that's a naval force limit +4. Haha, you can build it in every single freaking coastal province. Ah, that's going to be amazing. I did that with England. I ended up with like a 700 force limit for navy. It's amazing. Okay, so this will give me local ship cost and shipbuilding time and ship repair. Okay. So that means any ships that we have mothballed should be mothballed in a shipyard, because that means when I unmothball them, they should repair quicker. Burgundy have inherited the throne of Flanders and Brabant. I'm assuming that's an event of some kind, as they have now just, you know, got them in their nation just generally. Burgundy are doing alright. They've suffered some losses, I think, but they're hanging in there. Don't know how long until France, you know, chooses to just wipe them out, but they're hanging in there. That's all I can say. Got another like 40 years to try and take Calais back from France. Is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? No. Okay, shipyards are useful, but not that useful. I probably want another 2 of them. Like, what'll basically happen is I'll try and only build ships in places with shipyards, so if I can grab another 2 of them, that would be great. That way I can have 5 ships building at a time. Sweden, why are you occupied? You're occupied by Novgorod. I see. Have they occupied any of your forts? No. Novgorod have only a single fort. It is there. Why don't you invite me to the war, Novgorod? Sweden. Why don't you invite me to the war, Sweden? I could invite myself to the war. You know, I could. I can't, because I can only enforce peace on an attacker. Who was that one? Who did I just take my diplomat back from? I think it was Denmark. Uh-oh, our explorer is dead again. That's fine though. Yeah, we'll leave our explorer dead for now, until we need to explore, which might actually be now. Let's chuck a galley and 2 transports into a fleet and see if we can't explore a little bit more. No, you can't explore with galleys. Great. So we'll send 3 heavies then, or all our heavies. Nah, it's worth sending. We'll send 4 heavies. We can't explore, yay! Hiring that general was absolutely and utterly useless, and he's gonna die too young, so yay. Great. Great. And because we're not exploring anymore, our naval tradition's probably going down. It's staying about the same. Staying about the same. Is he... No, we shouldn't have our general attached when there's very little chance of a revolt. And final shipyard will go here. Anne Boleyn! The breaking of the Catholic Church began with Henry VIII's desire to marry Anne Boleyn, and the Pope's refusal to annul his previous marriages to Queen Catherine. Anne had refused to become the king's mistress and told him that the only way she would yield to his embraces was if he married her. The leader of the English Reformation, the Archbishop of Canterbury, Thomas Cranmer, is that an N? I can't tell, declared Henry and Catherine's marriage null and void, and then Henry and Anne's marriage to be good and valid. The Pope immediately decreed sentences of excommunication against Henry and Cranmer. This resulted in the break between the Church of England and Rome. The Church of England was brought under the king's control. Anne became pregnant very quickly, and the future Queen Elizabeth I was born on the 7th of September 1533. Disappointed in the gender of the child and the 3 miscarriages that followed, Henry started courting Jane Seymour. In order to get rid of his wife, King Henry VIII charged Anne with adultery, incest, and witchcraft, and sent to the Tower of London, where she awaits trial. Save her and make her an advisor. Wow. or Anne will be remembered fondly. I thought this would be some sort of religious event, which I'm disappointed in. Huh. Interesting. I kind of want to do this just for the fun of it. Yeah, let's do it. 10 prestige would have kind of been useful, but oh well. What was she? There she is. We'll save up and we'll get her. Even if she isn't that useful. Yeah. Alright. Cool. It'll get us to Diplotech faster anyway. Even though it's going to cost us like 10 ducats a month. We can probably afford it. The charge to Diplotech 7 is worth it. Since that's the next Diplotech we'll be picking up, right? It is. Alright, plus 115. How much do we actually need? Also, we can go to speed 4. We need 300... Yeah, we're going to be able to colonize that as soon as we get to Diplotech 7, so that's not going to be bad at all. So what do we want now? Temples? More tax is good. The more tax, the more better. Recall Diplo from Sweden. Start thinking about the local tribesmen. Okay, here's the thing. Maybe I get to prove it on this playthrough, but I have experienced in my recent England playthrough that certain nations, tribal nations, will just move. They'll just move. Like one day they'll be here and then they'll go there. Like I guess it would make sense since they're nomadic tribes, but it's still just weird. It's an offer. Yeah, we can't refuse. Spy offense isn't that important to me. I'm not really fabricating anyway. Military tech can wait. We shall develop. Can we have the cheapest, please? Alright, this is sorted weirdly today. London is at the top and then the rest are there. Okay. I guess this is sorted like a weirdly, like a poor sorting document where the one's at the top. I've seen this before. This might be the case, actually. Alright, so, yes. Oh, I see. Depending on, like, yeah, it's not the same. Certain provinces are more valuable to have increased. Which is interesting. Are we above the 400 mark for development? I'm assuming we're not. We're not yet. One day, we shall be above the 400 mark, and then I will be rejoiced. I will rejoice, I mean. Alright, it's time to bring in Anne Boleyn, who has a cool, like, silver border. I think that she is not part of the Common Sense DLC. I think she's part of the Women in History DLC, which I did download a couple of months ago, and I think that's the first event I've seen from that DLC. Okay, as soon as we get the mission, the what am I saying? The restore our manpower mission, then we'll start rebuilding our army as well. And we're also in 2 years going to be able to get Diplotech 7 and start colonizing Canada, which is going to be fun. Let's see. Yeah, unfortunate. I might be wrong. Colonial Canada might have always been a thing, but colonial Eastern America has always been a thing as well. A little disappointing. But oh well. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? How far away is this then? It's probably like 500 odd. It's only 400, so we're still a while away. Savoy, a Savoyard civil war would be ridiculous. Because they're tiny already, although they've gotten a lot bigger. Create an army for our nation. Yes, I agree. That's the next step after letting the manpower reserves recover. That's a great mission setup. So we still don't have the tech to build frickin' cannons, for God's sake. Okay, we do need to stop developing the military portion of our empire and just start building. Going down the military tech route. Okay, so how many cav do we have? How many cav do we have? Okay, that's a good idea. 8 and 2 is probably a good setup. We'll move him out. We'll actually move all these guys out. Yeah, we'll split him up as well. We'll kind of have a 10. So we'll create the template and call it English 15th unit. So 15th century unit. We're getting a lot of cardinals. 8 and 2. And build over as many provinces as is necessary. And we shall create this unit. If we can, without going over the force limit. In London, will be a London army. Ignore them or pay them off. Pay them off every time. Damn right. Hello, Micmac. How are you doing today? Would you like to become my protectorate? I don't know whether that's a good idea. There's not a new per se, but there's a federation mechanic that I haven't played around with too much. That's I think been around since El Dorado. I'd like to try that out at some point, which is like, it's probably got something to do with the Norwegian separatists, you say? This just sprung up. Surprisingly, we just put them down, though. I'm not that surprised, all things considering. Temple works for me. Glamorgan. And Ulster. Oh, we can't. Lol. Okay. So we're very close. In fact, we're like a month away from getting this tech. Maybe 2 months away. Yeah, another month. And then we can start colonizing. We gotta deal with some rebels on the home front, but aside from that... Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Yes! Colonial Canada is within our reach. It's all worthless land, but it's still worth it. It's still exciting. Very aggressive natives over there, so we're gonna have to send some troops. What troops to send, though, is the question. Probably this new army. Are the shipyards built? They are, so we'll leave them here while they repair. And then we'll pop on our... So once that colony is complete, we can start exploring a lot of shit as well. Maybe even before it's complete. And we can start colonizing Canada, which is cool. Any valuable provinces at all? Really? I guess maybe the way it works in this new patch is that all of the New World is worthless until you develop it. Nope, there are some useful provinces down here. Also, there's always the chance of getting gold. And obviously, if you discover gold, it's pretty valuable. So this first army is attached. Repel the savages. Yeah, repel the savages. And send our guys up there. Because we do not want to have an attack when there's nobody on there, because that can be disastrous. So those of you who have not played EU4, once you get 5 provinces in a colonial region, which is one of these things. Obviously there are no colonial regions over here. See? Yep. Once you get 5 of them as a European nation, you will create a colonial nation. This means that these provinces that are about to be colonized by us won't be ours. They will be kind of like a vassal of ours. They'll be theirs. So what will be over here will be English Newfoundland or English Canada or something like that. Army tradition. Even though we might not hold on to it, it's still pretty useful to have. So now that we're at Diplotech 7, there's still much better people out there than us in terms of tech. We're so behind on tech. But now we're going to get our ideas up as well. Okay. Lots of revolts in those islands. Those damn islands. Ugh. Okay. We will send 10,000 men to those islands, led by our glorious King Charles. I forgot, what's the name of the guy over here? Johann. Johann of Lancaster. Indeed. Johann of Lancaster. I guess that makes kind of sense. Alright. Oh, we can't sortie, can we? Because, yeah. Oops. Oopsie daisy. We're gonna lose that battle. We're gonna lose that battle if we go 10 on 8. There's no way. Even 20 on 8, we might lose that battle. Alright, that's good. You can slaughter the natives here, which means that you won't get those attacks. And in some cases it could be useful. But back in the day, what it would do is it would... I think it would lower the base tax of your eventual province. So that's why you wouldn't do it back in the day. Nowadays it might be worth it. But, what's the base tax going to end up being over here? 0. That's an interesting one. We'll see if that's actually what the base tax ends up being. Because the way they've worded that is income. Alright, we control the province again. So let's try our damnedest to get these islands back. The reason why we're getting so many revolts is because I lowered the autonomy. So it is all on me. Definitely. But, see, there's not a single province in the nation that... there's not a single province in the nation that isn't under full control of His Majesty. So, in the end, I think it can be classed as a victory. You know, I think even though we're getting a lot of revolts, His Majesty has full control. So, you know. There is pride in that. Okay. 10,000 men across. Admin tech? Yeah. Yeah, let's start rebuilding our tech base. Reinforcements are necessary. Reinforcements are necessary. Oh, that's a wipe. That is a wipe, ladies and gentlemen. Holy shit. Okay, so we just lost a sizable chunk of the Royal Navy, of the Royal Army. Yes, please, Catholicism. I would indeed like you to have more reform desire. That would be a good thing for me. How close are we to reforming? I think it's close. I think at 100% we start seeing reforms. Centers of reform, I mean. And once somebody becomes a center of reform, hopefully we'll get it for free. If we don't, we can convert. And when we convert, we will get a free center of conversion. So, you know, it could lead to us having a few problems with rebels, because as you can see, we don't deal with too well. But, as a positive, it also gives us free conversions if we're one of the first to convert. So, whatevers. Obviously, slow colonization is going to be going on in the early days of the colonization game. It doesn't pick up the pace per se until a little later. It is 12:30, so we've probably got about half an hour left on this recording session. Recording this 2 or 3 days, or maybe 1 or 2 days. I think I recorded this yesterday, after the first recording session. Yes, global settler increase is a good idea. We're actually going to try and go all the way to colonists. A second colonist, because that would be useful. A second colonist would be very useful. And we're also going to try and build a second army. Well, not a second army, but another army. Because we obviously lost our last one. We could also build another one after that, and a couple of... Actually, we're only going to go up to 40,000 troops, and then we'll save the other 4,000 available troops for cannons when they become available. Oh shit! Wait a minute. Base tax or prestige?